Let's get more on this now and go to Mario Arturo Ruiz. He's in Kuala Lumpur and he's a professor of international economics at the University of Kuala Lumpur. Welcome to you, Professor. Let's just start by asking why these countries in particular.
The policy of the United States for a long time is against some political and economic systems, I want to say like this, and generating a kind of confusion among the global world. I want to tell you that it's the countries who never follow rules, or they are, I want to call they are disobedient and never follow the American policy. This is the main point we have. What I can tell you is that in the next few years, we need to mention that globalization was the part of free mobility of people around the world. But now with this new globalization is protecting the local countries, especially non-economic, also social. And I feel like in the next few years, the United States want to protect his interests and want to protect his country. You can see the social problems they have in the United States now, especially now with this commotion of Los Angeles, for example. But the point is, all this list is not new. It's a very old list that the United States imposed restriction to these countries. It's not related about if they are Islam or they are or the countries that is not support the United States. The problem is basically is that these countries not follow obedience or don't follow the American policy, or the most clear is not have any economic interest on or they can have something from them. I feel like in the next 4 or 5 years until Mr. Trump staying there, restrictions is coming more strict for all of us, not only for these countries, also for people who really can have visa or can go to the United States. And now with this, we need to attach everything. Remember, this one is going to generate a kind of enlargement of the list of the countries that are not welcome in the United States. I don't think it's North Korea and another countries that's there in the list. It's nothing new. Now I feel it's for everyone's commotion or feel shocked, but actually it's nothing new. Actually, it's a long time ago, especially Venezuela, Cuba, and all these countries.
Professor, if you're saying this is actually just about relations between these countries and the US, it sounds like President Trump's leveraging this. What is he hoping the impact is going to be?
Okay, the conflict, I tell you, is that, for example, you know that what happened now with the education system in the United States, the restriction of visas for students. For example, we have good students in this country sometimes, and they know it's possible they go to the United States to study in the United States. That's one example. Another thing is, for example, international trade is going to be closed for these countries. We call embargo in international economics. It is going to generate not so much effect in the United States, but a lot of effect from the countries who is in this blacklist, especially because they want to have trade restrictions, and also the value of the American dollar become very expensive. And what we can see that is, my personal view is that this list is like, if you are not follow my instructions, if you not follow my policy, you need to be in this blacklist until you be obedient and follow my instructions. Actually, this is the reality we have with this blacklist. And these countries, the leaderships, they don't want to access to these conditions of the United States. But what made me sad is that we in one global world using globalization, but now we become a domestic protection of interests and additionally avoid the massive mobility of labor, one can call like this, and students from overseas to the United States. And remember, the best human capital in the United States, they are foreigners. Like from many of these countries, believe me, have brilliant students from Venezuela, from Cuba, or also from all the lists as mentioned here. Now, the next point is, until when these poor countries need to take some trends and go to someone, because the country who know go to the United States, go Russia now, or go China. I tell you something, the world is changing dramatically and become in chaos. We have chaos, we have social chaos now. And is additionally, I want to remind you, the tariff, what I mentioned in the last sessions in your channel, is generating a general global inflation everywhere. And additionally, this globalization is generating poverty in everywhere. And then what these poor people found is to move to developed countries, they can find the way to generate income, jobs, and have incomes or external currencies, for example, United States. But I feel like now it's more difficult for the different countries move to United States, especially to study or work in the United States. This is my perception is that in this globalization process we have now, many countries, they are going to suffer it. Not only this blacklist you mentioned to me, also countries who would also have visa access to the United States, they're going to have a lot of restrictions and limitations to go to the United States.
Mario, I apologize for interrupting. Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap it up there. Appreciate your analysis, Professor Mario Arturo Ruiz Estrada from the University of Kuala Lumpur.